Hi everybody, welcome to this short presentation on the Year 5 residential down to Hooke Court in Dorset. It's a virtual one. Normally people would come in and we'd sit in the Pack or sit in Penryn and have the presentation, but this is perhaps a slightly more efficient way of doing things. It's been a very, very busy term. You're busy, we're busy, and actually this might be, as I say, a slightly more efficient way of doing it to give you all the details that you're going to need to prepare for the trip. So we are down to the Dorset coast and we're going to Hooke Court from Tuesday the 6th of May through to Friday the 9th of May. So very, very quick couple of why do we go to Hooke Court. We've been to different places in the past. We've been to Beam House in the past, and we've been down to Swanage in the past for the Year 5 residential. Hooke Court is an amazing place. This will be the third or fourth time we've been there, and it's an incredible venue. It's an incredible place to stay, but also it allows us to have really, really strong links to the curriculum that the kids follow. So we're going to do some work on the World War II with a sort of a history objective on work on coasts to support the work we've been doing in geography. And in science, we're going to do some rocket science, because who doesn't like a rocket? It's a very different trip to a lot of residentials that happen. There are no high ropes. There are no. It's not an activities sort of residential. It is an educational trip first and foremost. When I said that to the kids, I said, "Don't let that put you off." It is really, really good fun. They will learn absolutely loads, but they'll have a lot of fun doing it. So some of the aims of the trip, as well as doing the educational side of things, it will encourage independence, being away from home. This might be the longest they've been away from you guys in their little lives. Some who've been on the ski trip, yes, they've probably been away for longer, but for some children, this will be the longest they've been away. It does develop a few life skills. They learn to share, cooperate, certainly they have to work as a team, and they'll develop a few new confidences too. It'll build on the experiences that they've had in Year 4, and they'll also be doing some field work outside and putting into practice some of the things that they have learnt. So whereabouts is it in the world? Well, it is down in Dorset, and it's not a million miles away from where we used to go, Swanage and that area, but you can see there highlighted Hooke Court. We are going to be exploring a couple of different bits on the south coast as well. Hooke Court itself is absolutely beautiful. It's set in some gorgeous natural land. It used to be a school. Before then, it was an old sort of Tudor manor house, and actually it does bits of it date back even further than that. So there's loads of history to actually explore around the house as well. But as I say, it's a beautiful, beautiful place to be. So if you wanted to just check out where they were, there's the contact details. Again, just a few little key features. It's a grade 2. It says 14th century, but as I say, bits of it I think are even pre that, which is amazing. Right. It's going to be a 3-night residential. It was a 2-night one last year, but we've extended it a little more this year because I want to fit in some more of the geography work. It's a pretty short drive from the coast. It's about 40 or so minutes from the coast, and the Hooke Court itself can accommodate us for the World War II day and the rocket science day, and then we'll have a couple of days out by the beach. So on the Tuesday rather, we will set off from Winterfold around about 8 o'clock in the morning. It might be a smidge earlier than that, and we will head down to Lulworth Cove. And we will spend part of the day on Lulworth Cove doing some field work, looking at the rock formations, looking at the way that the cove has been created. So we will also look at Durdle Door, which we'll have some arches and stacks, and we'll put into practice all the theory that the kids have learnt. And there's also a gift shop, which is also nice. In the evening, we'll do a bit of a forest walk, which is very close to the Hooke Court itself, and hopefully the kids will be able to spot some things. Last year we spotted some white deer, There's also a mystery lighthouse in the middle of the forest that the kids have got to try and spot. So it's a rather nice way to end the first day. On the second day, we'll do a World War II day, so they'll get to experience World War II cooking from ration books, and they'll learn all about how scarce the food was, use recipes to actually prepare food, and they'll try eating it, and they'll see what the taste of food actually used to be like, which might give them an appreciation of what the food is like these days. We'll do some wartime drills, so they'll be in an air raid and be in an Anderson shelter. They'll have to put out some fires using stirrup pumps, all that sort of thing. And then we will also have some VE Day celebrations towards the end of the day, where they'll eat some sort of VE Day sort of food. It will actually be not a million miles away from VE Day itself, so that'll be quite nice as well. There'll also be some time in a school which is set up just like it would have been in World War II, and they'll have to learn a different way of doing some maths, subtracting pounds, shillings and pence, which is really interesting, and it's a really good problem solving day as well, so support their maths work. On the day 3, we'll be doing some rocket science. We'll be launching some real rockets using real gunpowder, and the kids last year really enjoyed this. So they actually looked at, they actually built their own rockets and launched them with these gunpowder fusers, which is fabulous. There is also some follow-up work I like to do in school on rocket science. I use water rockets mainly because I can't get gunpowder past health and safety at school. So I use water rockets instead, but it will support some of the work we do there. And on the 4th day, we will do a short trip back down to Lyme Regis, and we'll pack up and leave Hooke Court with all our stuff, head down to Lyme Regis, and then we'll meet Alan, who the kids will have met before. He will probably be the teacher on the World War II day, but he is the aficionado of Lyme Regis. He knows everything about it, and we'll look at the coastal defences, but we'll also look at the history. So Mary Anning, for instance, who is sort of the grandmother of fossils, it's around there that she first discovered the sort of the ichthyosaurus bones and things. So we will look at the history of Lyme Regis, but also the coastal defences, where the beach came from. The beach that's on Lyme Regis right now isn't actually from Lyme Regis, it's actually from France, and we'll work out why that is. So again, it's all to do with longshore drift, and it all supports all the things that the kids have been learning in geography. The accommodation, as I say, Hooke Court is really nice. The accommodation is absolutely great. It is what you would expect. It's bunk beds, it's dormitories. We will sort out the dormitories ourselves. And a lot of the kids will say, "Oh, I'm going to room with so and so." Actually, we will be deciding who rooms with who. There is a degree of flexibility with it, but we have to make sure that there are. Sometimes last year there was literally just enough beds for just enough kids, and so we just need to make sure that there is enough room for everyone to sleep with their friends and make it so that everyone's happy. But we will ensure that on the day. What will the kids need? Well, here's a check. I won't go through the entire checklist with you, but as I say, you can leave the Chanel stuff and the Abercrombie and whatever it is at home, because the kids it'll be fairly rough and tumble. We'll be on the beach on the first day. They'll be running around World War IIing on the second day, and they'll be in an air raid, and so they're getting mud flung at them. We'll be out in the fields launching rockets on the 3rd day, and then back out to Lyme Regis on the 4th day. So some sort of rough and tumble sort of thing, but their best items of clothing that they'd save for parties probably best be left behind. Normal sort of things apply: your toiletries and towels and night clothes, that sort of stuff. But you can have a look down the list here. A torch will be really good because of the night walk, and also every kid loves a torch, and they're always good fun. Sun cream, please, because as I say, we don't know what the weather's going to be. I'm trusting it's going to be nice and sunny, so sun cream is a must, and also a water bottle, because as I say, we'll be out and about quite a bit. It would be useful if they had some long sleeve things as well, because as I say, we are in the forest, and although we do stick to the main path, You never know. There are a few sort of slightly thinner footpaths that have brambles and things on them, so just want to protect arms and legs. Goes without saying, but please don't send mobile phones or expensive MP3 players and all that sort of stuff. I don't mind a digital camera, but we bought one, I think, for about £25-30. So if it got damaged or broken, it wasn't the end of the world, but it's probably best not send your £500 SLR camera, because, as I say, if it gets broken, it's a bit of a shame. But a cheapo digital camera, or, as I say, the disposable ones, are absolutely fine. And if you can leave all your cherished jewellery at home as well, that would also be great. It would be great also if the kids could pack their own bags as far as possible, because that way they should know what has gone into them, and therefore what they're going to have to repack on the last day. Who's going on the trip? Well, it'll be me, and it'll be Mrs. Miles, and it'll be Miss Heath, one of our new gappies. So hopefully you'll agree a really good team. Mrs. Miles is super sensible, and will be sort of the mummy of the group, which is fantastic, and she'll keep me in line. She'll be the medical officer. She's first aid trained, as am I. And Miss Heath is a really good egg. We've got to know her over the last few weeks, and she's a really good addition to the team. So how will you know what's going on? Well, Mrs. Miles and myself will be tweeting along the way, and we'll be sending things back to school. And also there's the added advantage that Laura's on the Year 5 WhatsApp group, and I'm sure that I can send things through to her, and she can post other bits and bobs along the way to keep you all informed of what we're doing. So we will do our absolute best to keep you abreast of all the things that's going on. The cost of the trip is £475. That is a smidge more than last year, but we're extending it by a day and a night, so you've got to factor in all of those things, and a little more bus travel this year. But again, just to put it in slight perspective, it's only £15 more than it was the year before that, where it was back to being a 4-day, 3-night trip. And we are doing more activities. There is a more learning opportunities in this trip than there was in the previous trip 2 years ago. So hopefully you'd agree you're getting value for money. And if the children can bring a maximum of £15, if they can bring it in change rather than in notes, that would be fabulous. There's a gift shop over at Lulworth Cove, and there's a little gift shop at Hooke Court as well. So there are a few things that children can buy. So what to do next? Please look out for any emails that are coming your way. There'll be some medical forms coming your way too. Please fill out them as soon as possible and get them back with any medication that your child needs. If that can be brought into school and brought to the office at your earliest convenience in the first week back, but obviously by the Friday, because although we are in on the bank holiday Monday, that we've got an open day that day, so it's going to be a pretty busy day, and then we're off on the Tuesday. So I'd like to try and get things completely sealed and done the week before. Obviously, if your child needs that medication over the weekend, then obviously bring it in on the Monday, or indeed on the Tuesday. If there's any other vital information that you think would be useful to us to help your child have the best experience possible, then please do let us know. For instance, if they suffer with night terrors, or if there are any sorts of nighttime problems or issues or anything of a sensitive nature that you would like to subtly let myself or Mrs. Miles know about, we can try and facilitate any extra help that they might need to have. I've been doing residentials for 20 odd years. Mrs. Miles has done them, I think, even longer than that. So we are well experienced in doing residentials, and there is pretty much nothing we haven't seen. So please don't be embarrassed by anything. Let us know anything you think you might need to, so that we can make it the best experience possible. And finally, for any Time Team fans out there like me, I'm a big fan of Tony Robinson, big Blackadder fan, but also a big Time Team fan. I've shown the kids a little bit of it. Time Team did visit Hooke Court about 15 years ago, and it's a really good episode. So I've shown the kids the start of it. We've had a little chat about it. But if you wanted to watch that to get a little bit of a flavour of Hooke Court as well, then it's well worth a watch. It's on YouTube, free to watch. So if you just YouTubed Hooke Court and Time Team, you'd get there. Normally this would be the time for any final questions. If you do have any questions, please do email me, and I will do my best to get back. Or if you wanted to put something, if it was something that applied to everybody, if you pop it on the Year 5 WhatsApp chat, I will do my best to get an answer back to you through the powers of my wife. Anyway, I hope this has been useful, and you've seen what you need to see. But as I say, any problems, please do give us a shout. But it does promise to be a really good trip, and I'm really looking forward to going with all the kids. Anyway, we will speak to you very soon. Thank you. Bye.